Hello, thank you for joining me again. Today we are on lesson 169. By grace I live, by grace I am released. And we're going to try and do this without glasses because I left them at my office. So, my other office. Here goes nothing. Grace is an aspect of the love of God which is most like the state prevailing in the unity of truth. It is the world's most lofty aspiration, for it leads beyond the world entirely. It is past learning, yet the goal of learning, for grace cannot come until the mind prepares itself for true acceptance. Grace becomes inevitable instantly in those who have prepared a table where it can be gently laid and willingly received, an altar clean and holy for the gift. Grace is acceptance of the love of God within a world of seeming hate and fear. By grace alone, the hate and fear are gone. For grace presents a state so opposite to everything the world contains that those whose minds are lighted by the gift of grace cannot believe the world of fear is real. Grace is not learned. The final step must go beyond all learning. Grace is not the goal this course aspires to attain, yet we prepare for grace in that an open mind can hear the call to waken. It is not shut tight against God's voice. It has become aware that there are things it does not know, and thus is ready to accept a state completely different from experience with which it is familiarly at home. We have perhaps appeared to contradict our statement that the revelation of the Father and the Son as one has been already set. But we have also said that the mind determines when the time will be and has determined it. And yet we urge you to bear witness to the Word of God, to hasten the experience to truth, and speed its advent into every mind that recognizes truth effects on you. Oneness is simply the idea God is, and in his being, he encompasses all things. No mind holds anything but him. We say God is, and then we cease to speak, for in that knowledge, words are meaningless. There are no lips to speak them, and no part of mind sufficiently distinct to feel that it is now aware of something not itself. It has united with its source, and like a source itself, it merely is. We cannot speak, nor write, nor even think of this at all. It comes to every mind when total recognition that its will is God's has been completely given and received. It returns the mind into the endless present, where the past and future cannot be conceived. It lies beyond salvation, past all thoughts of time, forgiveness, and the holy face of Christ. The Son of God has merely disappeared into his Father, as his Father has in him. The world has never been at all. Eternity remains a constant state. This is beyond experience. We try to hasten, yet forgiveness, taught and learned, brings with it the experiences which bear witness that the time the mind itself determined to abandon all but this is now at hand. We do not hasten it, in that what you will offer was concealed from him who teaches what forgiveness means. All learning was already in his mind, accomplished and complete. He recognized all that time holds and gave it to all minds that each one might determine from a point where time was ended, when it is released to revelation and eternity. We have repeated several times before that you but make a journey that is done. For oneness must be here. Whatever time the mind has set for revelation is entirely irrelevant to what must be a constant state, forever as it always was, forever to remain as it is now. We merely take the part assigned long since and fully recognize as perfectly fulfilled by him who wrote salvation's script in his Creator's name and in the name of his Creator's Son. There is no need to further clarify what no one in the world can understand. When revelation of your oneness comes, it will be known and fully understood. Now we have work to do, for those in time can speak of things beyond and listen to words which explain what is to come is past already. Yet what meaning can the words convey to those who count the hours still and rise and work and go to sleep by them? Suffice it then that you have work to do to play your part. The ending must remain obscure to you until your part is done. It does not matter, for your part is still what all the rest depends on. As you take the role assigned to you, salvation comes a little nearer each uncertain heart that does not beat as yet in tune with God. Forgiveness is the central theme that runs throughout salvation, holding all its parts in meaningful relationships. The course it runs directed and its outcome sure. Experience that grace provides will end in time, for grace foreshadows heaven, yet does not replace the thought of time, but for a little while. The interval suffices. It is here that the miracles are laid, to be returned by you from holy instance you receive through grace in your experience to all who see the light that lingers in your face. What is the face of Christ but his who went a moment into timelessness and brought a clear reflection of the unity he felt an instant back to bless the world? How could you finally attain to it forever while a part of you remains outside, unknowing, unawakened, and in need of you as witness to the truth? Be grateful to return as you were grateful to go an instant and accept the gifts that grace provided you. You carry them back to yourself, and revelation stands not far behind. Its coming is ensured. We ask for grace and for experience that comes from grace. We welcome the release it offers everyone. We do not ask for the unaskable. We do not look beyond what grace can give. For this we can give in the grace that has been given us. Our learning goal today does not exceed this prayer. Yet in the world, what could be more than what we ask this day of him who gives the grace we ask as it was given him? By grace I live, by grace I am released. By grace I give, by grace I will release. And that is the end of lesson 169. By grace I live, by grace I am released. I think about, as I'm reading this, that instant of grace when someone has an out-of-body experience and they get that beautiful taste of heaven that brings to them that knowingness that there is life beyond this, that this is the illusion, and that home lies somewhere beyond the veil, and it is not something that is out of reach with us. It is not us that are contained in our bodies. We are so much more than that. These are experiences that are beyond our ability to explain and to rationalize and to give words to, and that is what this lesson is allowing us to understand. Well, let's see what Tina Spalding's channeling say. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. These lessons are challenging your belief systems considerably. You are asked to act on faith that you will be transformed. But this is not up to you. You can only be vigilant and diligent in your practice. You can only forgive when necessary. You can only do what we ask you to do, and in that doing, you express your willingness to have your mind transformed into its natural state, which is that of love. This is all that happens here. The unnecessary and the valueless are removed from your consciousness so that you are free and clear to be the divine being that you are, connected to all that is with a clear and unsullied guidance system. The revelation you experience as you come closer to that state is the most wonderful thing indeed. This being, the channel, experience that feeling of oneness, the absolute knowing that this world is illusory and that there is something far greater on the other side of the veil of ignorance. You are gradually dissolving it through grace. It is through doing nothing but being given the opportunity to see clearly that you find this wonderful experience coming your way. All of you feel a clarification of your mind. You do not get as upset as you used to get. You see that a lot of the stories you fabricate in your mind are illusions. They are fantasies and they create happiness or sadness depending on the story you tell. Tell the loving story, tell the kind story, tell the forgiving story, and it is you who will benefit from that. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and we will speak to you again tomorrow. It's interesting. I was having a conversation with one of my clients earlier, and she stated that exactly what this was saying. She let me know that although nothing had really changed, she was not having the same anxiety ridden, panic kind of reactions to situations in her life that otherwise created almost a chaotic feeling for her. She was feeling more peaceful about everything that was happening. And for her, it was such an incredible, unexplainable experience that she was able to understand that she was walking around in a much more contented, satisfied, or happy state of mind than she ever used to be. She said she kind of used to walk around very tense and very uptight. And the work that she's been doing has allowed her to walk with more peace in her life. Those are the revelations. That is part of grace. And so that is what we can allow ourselves to accept. Have a great day, everyone. Have fun with this lesson and see where your peace can take you. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.